Now we've got a. Let me just make sure that YouTube is showing a green. Yeah, it says had called me.
And there we are. So, with that said, very much welcome. Finally, we would say to That Beautiful Life podcast, episode 210, 210. Can you believe that? And as always, my name is Roger, and I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. I don't know if you're listening when you're, having your lunch or maybe it's late evening. Have no clue. Here in Sweden, where I live, it is evening. And as always, yeah, we're two here. And it's, of course, my beautiful friend from the Reading, the UK, Kidus Campbell. How are you, my friend?
I'm
Coming home
ac-
from work.
I'm actually still working. I literally just looked down at my phone. This is my work phone, by the way. For now, anyway, it's gonna be changed. And I looked down and I realized it's a very important contact that has tried calling me earlier. And I didn't reply to them. So I just did. I just told him, hey, I will get back to you soon. You know, and
Yeah, that's
the
a good start.
yeah, cause like literally, I have like it is ridiculous how much I'm in work mode most of the time. Because even like last night, I came in from work and I literally was like, oh, Xavier was like, he wanted to hang out with me. Obviously, I'm out all day. I come in, he wants to kick back and chill, and I was like, I'm gonna watch some football. Want to join me? And he's like, yeah, definitely. He wants to sit down and watch some football with me. So, and he never wants to sit down and watch football with me because he's not really interested in football. He came and he sat down with me, and I put on the football, and Raj, the football watched me.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I literally fell asleep during the match. So yeah, I didn't make it to the end. The only way I was able to find out how the match went was because I watched the highlights this morning. And when I woke up, here's the funny thing: I woke up early this morning, around I think I got up around maybe 6:40, 50 something around there,
Okay.
and I started getting dressed for work. And I didn't have a shower last night because I came in and fell asleep instantly. So I didn't have a shower,
Yeah.
I didn't have dinner, nothing. I just came in. I
Oh.
was laying down here watching the football. Xavi was sitting here, and I fell asleep. So this morning I just got up. I packed clothes to wear in work. I packed a towel, which is in my bag. I need to take that out because it's in a plastic bag. I packed a towel, and then I left for work. And um, I literally had a shower in work because there's a shower room in work. So I came
Aha, okay.
I
Yeah,
came
that's
into the
good.
office. I
Mm.
had some stuff to complete, so I came into the office. I'm dressed in my cycling clothes, lycra, everything, and I'm wearing shorts. I just set up my laptop and I sit on my desk. I work till I don't know, maybe like 11 a.m. or something, maybe 10, 11 a.m. And then I was like, crap, I need to go get changed because so I look at the CEO and I was like, hey man, like I'm gonna head over and get changed, and then I'll be right back. So I completed most of my morning tasks that I needed to do, and then I went straight to get changed, had a shower, a quick one, got changed into off, which is what I'm wearing right now. Got changed into this, which is like, like a jumper. I've got jeans on, some jeans,
Yeah, okay.
trousers,
Yeah.
and my regular trainers, some black leather Converse and a jacket with a scarf, and that was me for the day. So yeah, if you guys want to see some of the shenanigans I get up to, if you check my Instagram now, like today, you'll see some kind of crazy shit that was going on in our office today. We were playing catch with a ball in the office.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I got to see that, of course.
yeah,
Well, I mean, time has passed. As we said before we started to record, I mean, we haven't been able to do a podcast, or we weren't able to do a podcast last week. Sorry
yeah.
for that. But we are also still adjusting to new times and everything. And I mean, I guess you still are as well. You're still like new to work, even though you got some stuff, already in your hands, so to say. But I also hope that you find the balance you just mentioned before, because I kind of remember when I was, when we were working with Cromata, and there was a lot of things to do. And sometimes it was hard to draw that line, when you stop work when you stop working, also when you get home, if that makes sense. I was looking at the phone, I was answering a mail, I was at some point, I don't know what they expect from you, but at some point you also need to, click, like, break the circuit, so to
Hmm.
speak, so you can just relax and get the energy back. And as also we talked about before, get the good night's sleep and food, of course. Yeah, you need to eat, my friend. So
Yeah.
I understand it's very special the first weeks and everything, but I think that's for the long run. I think you know what I mean. But
Yeah, I do need some sort of
excuse
routine
me.
that
Yeah,
maintainable. I do need
yeah.
a routine that I can sort of like stick to and just sort of be able to do. So yeah, it seems like someone's knocking the office, so I keep hearing it in the background. So let me just check. You can continue.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so as me and Q were
Okay.
talking about, it's all about these kind of routines. I try to follow mine as well, but it's not that easy all the time, especially when things comes in between,
Hmm.
called life. That can
Yeah.
definitely change or break the circuit as well. We've seen that happening. I have a few of those moments recently. We're getting into that soon.
Hmm.
Hello, Nalu. Very
Hey
much
Nalu,
welcome
welcome
on
to the
these.
chat.
Yeah, hope you're fine. Hope you're fine all the way over there.
Mhm.
And yeah, but how have you? I mean, okay, yeah, 2 weeks has passed. It
Yeah.
goes fast, but it feels like an eternity almost since we spoke. Uh, how has your
I'm
week
podcasting,
been?
buddy.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, he's busy over
What are
there.
you talking about?
He's coming back soon because we
Oh,
need to get into. I want to hear
oh.
more. I want to hear more about your week. I would say weeks, plural,
Hmm.
too.
The
Like,
last two
can
weeks.
you recall? Because wait, you sent me cool pics
I did? Did
because
I?
yeah, you were at a nice place. I think you
Yes.
guys had some kind of business dinner or something like that. Is that it? Is
Yes.
that
I
true?
did have a business. So essentially, what I do, the company I work with
This.
now. Oh, you see the picture? Oh, yes, I remember that. I remember that one. So the company I work with, we do a lot of work with universities, and we were having a dinner with some contacts of ours, and essentially like we had this business meeting. It was really big, it was really important. It was really good, nice to sort of like, because there's a lot of things that essentially, because of my role, there's a lot of things that I need to sort of like take over and handle and all that kind of stuff. So I had to go to this meeting to sort of like meet people, connect, so that in future, as we have more to do with them, I can sort of like
Yeah.
deal with that. And one of the things I really love about our CEO that he does a lot is he challenges me. And when I say challenges me, he puts me on the spot a lot. So,
Okay. Okay.
so
Okay.
that picture of that
Yeah.
table that you saw, that big table, we're sitting around that
Mm.
table with a bunch of people who are in the same industry as us, and um they're basically all given they decide, oh, let's give a speech. Everyone give a little thing, and everyone's standing up, like whoever is the leader of their team or whatever have you stands up and gives a speech. And it's getting closer to us, and our CEO is sitting. I'm before the CEO, so he's next to me on this side, and I'm right here, and it's coming around the table like this. So it's gonna hit me before him. So I look over to him and I whisper
Mm.
into his. I was like,
So he
"Do
just went to the men's room, right?
no, no, he
And
was
stay
sitting there.
there. No,
I just sort of
I'm just
whispered in there.
kidding.
I was like, hey,
Bailing out, giving you the yeah.
do I have to give a speech? And he was like, yeah, definitely. And I'm like, bloody hell. Like, I didn't say it, but in my mouth, I was like, crap, I didn't prepare for this. So then because everyone's standing to give there. So it gets to me, and everyone kind of like locks in on me. And then I stand up, and I'm like, hey, I introduce myself. I did a little thing. I say a few things and all that kind of stuff. And then I sit down, and then he gets up and he speaks. And then we have another meeting the next day, and there's something we're discussing about something, and I don't want to get into details because it's weak, but there's something we're
Yeah, yeah.
discussing, and he says to me, and like they're all discussing. I kid you not, Raj. There's a side of me that's kind of zoning out because they're using a lot of industry speech, and I'm not caught up with everything. There's some stuff I understand, and there's some stuff I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about here.
Ah, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I'll make notes and all that kind of stuff, but this part does not seem. I don't fully understand what this means. And at one point he just says, "Oh yeah, Q will sort that out." And then everyone sort of like looks at me again. But because
Oh,
I was following the conversation for the most part, I just sort of was like, "Yep, and I explained how and why and all that kind of stuff, and everyone was like, "Okay." At the end of the meeting, everyone comes up to me like, "Hey, give me we need to get in touch, take my number, give me your number," that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how
yeah.
we went along the thing. So
Yes.
that's the thing I like about him, is that he challenges me to get stuff done. He's like, "Okay,
Mm,
Q, you deal with this, you deal with that. Okay, I'll leave that up to you."
mm,
And so and the thing is that for me, I find that I thrive under that kind of environment. I thrive in an
mm,
environment where I am given a task, I am expected to succeed, and I am challenged. I think if you leave me alone and you just say, "Oh, well, just whatever, no challenge," I think I'll procrastinate, and I'll get lackadaisical, and I won't be the best version of me. But if you put me in on a challenge, God, I love it.
mm.
Especially I love to when I'm working. I love to exceed people's expectations. I feel like
Yeah.
that's to me is like a win. I feel like you tell
Mm,
me, "Oh, can you achieve this?" Yeah, I could do more than that.
mm.
You know,
Yeah, but it's good. It's also, I think, yeah, as you have been talking about this guy before, your CEO. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know who he is, but but from your words, I mean, he seems to have good leadership
Mhm.
because it's also about, uh, you know, letting people do their thing
Yeah.
without putting too much fingers in between.
Mhm.
Because sometimes some bosses or whatever you want to call them, they might have too much of a, I shouldn't say that they might be control freaks, but they can be way, but in a way, yes, they want to be everywhere where decisions are being made.
Mhm.
But you guys just got to realize, if you're going to be in charge of whatever kind of, company, or you have to rely and trust your employees, and you have to give them the mandate to, do their thing, and grow with their tasks. And I think it sounds as
Mhm.
this is kind of a proof of that, and I'm happy for you, because if that's the case, then it's a good kind of environment,
Yeah.
for growth, and to have also a good
Mhm.
time where you work in.
Mhm.
And of course, now what you just described is definitely uh, so much has to do with what you're doing now. It's about, getting to know certain people,
Mhm.
networking, getting the contacts, of course, and also getting a more personal relationship to them the
Yeah.
next time you speak. And it's going
Mhm.
to be easier from here on with certain contacts.
Mhm.
So when you've had those kind of meetings, because I remember also the part when Cremata is one thing, all
Mhm.
those 25 years with meeting a lot of people, that's one thing. But also just a short time, 2.5 years out at Arlanda, when I was, in charge of this uniform storage room and everything, and I made orders, and I started to know people, and I was also at certain meetings. And when you've had those first meetings, it's so easy to just, start to understand who is who, and who should I talk to, and who do I feel like I can trust the most, maybe.
Mhm.
So those kind of things. It's always about human
Mhm.
relationships, right?
Mhm.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but it's
Definitely.
cool. I'm really happy. It sounds good. It sounds really good. And also that I can imagine the weeks are passing quite fast right now.
They
Even though we said
are.
it felt like a long time since we talked, 2 weeks, but even so, yeah,
To be honest,
yeah,
it feels like I don't have enough time. Like I go from week to week, like especially because of the fact I've been spending a lot of days out of office. I'm booked in for a lot of things. Even this week isn't over
yeah.
yet. Before I leave the office, the CEO's like, "Oh, you need to book this thing and that thing. We're gonna have this and that." So I'm cleared out. First thing in the morning, I get to the office. I have a few tasks to do, and then I'm in meetings for the
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big
yeah.
portion of the morning. So my weeks have become very very much like booked out, but it's really interesting. It's really cool. I wish I could share some of the stuff that we're working on, and I will at some point. Not right now because it's early days and I'm just trying to
Yeah,
build up. Um,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but with once we really get the ball rolling and everything like that, I want to hype you guys up because it's huge. It's like the stuff I'm doing right now in work. It is huge. But I don't want to disclose it just yet. I want you guys to sort of like wait and anticipate it and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, yeah, it's gonna be amazing, and I hope you guys are able to to like Well, appreciate
Yeah. I
what
mean, the thread continues, as you say.
yes
It's gonna grow thicker with time, also. So it's gonna
with time.
become a rope, and we have to pull it. No, but really, it's interesting, and I also think, as Nalo is saying here in the chat, it's already mid-March.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also like, oh shit, we're all mid-March, marching towards April. I would say a bit more springtime. I don't know how has the weather been in Reading, by the way, recently?
It's a mixture of rain, and we
Yeah.
had like I think last week we had some nice days. Though I didn't get to like appreciate most of them because I wasn't home for a couple of the weeks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
With
yeah.
that picture, I was actually up north. So I was at a hotel and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really get to appreciate all of it. But there were some days where I was just like nice morning, cycling and all that kind of stuff. It's getting closer to summer. Your boy is gonna be in the
Yes.
office in shorts, buddy. That's what I'm doing. I'm already I'm
Yeah.
already planning my summer outfit for work. I'm like, yo, I'm turning up with the
Yeah, but that's
legs
good.
out, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Mm.
work is pretty cool. I work with some pretty cool people. There's a lot of interesting things that we get up to and all that kind of stuff. And with time, I'll be able to share some of it. Some of it you can already see if you go to my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram at LP Guardian, you can find what I'm doing on the day to day. You know, if I post a lot about what I'm doing on the day to day. Um, excuse me. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know, you can check it out, LPGRDIN, Guardian.eu, and you'll see what I'm up to and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, that is kind of what work has become, essentially.
Yeah, I
That's
can
kind of
totally understand.
I think home wise not a lot. Ty had a birthday party last weekend, so
Oh,
we did
cool.
celebrate
Yeah.
his birthday, and you know, he had a birthday party at this bouncy castle place called well, not bouncy castle, it's like a trampoline in place called Red Kangaroo, and he had a few
Oh,
friends there. I say few, it's like 12 kids, and it was chill. Like, he had fun. He enjoyed himself. His friends
yeah,
enjoyed
that's the most
themselves.
important part,
Yep,
I guess, you know?
that was pretty much it. We kicked
Yeah.
back. I got him some Beyblades for his birthday. They're actually in the office because I took it from him because he did something that I didn't approve of. So these are his. This is one of his Beyblades.
Oh, yeah, look at that now. Oh man, I'm so happy. We have talked about Beyblades before
Mhm.
because you know when all the way back when Adam was Agent Adam, my oldest son, when he was
Mhm.
a kid, he was, you know, he was collecting Beyblades, and they were
Ooh.
doing that stuff at school, you know, having these duels with the Beyblades.
Mhm.
Also watching the series, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So that's like that must be, is that like 15 years ago or something? I think so.
Oof, man,
It's
let's not count the
insane
years. Let's not
talking
count the
about
years,
time.
bro.
No, no, no. We can
Let's
talk
not.
about days, but not years.
It's
That's
go- it's gonna make us feel like, whew, man, where the years gone, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of been the week, bro. Like honestly, that's been the week. It's been packed. There's been a lot of things going on. My week has been the most complex and full, is the best way I can put it. It has been a full
Yeah.
week, and I'm excited. Work is good, you know. I'm starting to feel like me again. You know, I think for the last couple of
Good,
years, I
good.
have not felt. There's a portion of me that has not felt full, has not felt,
Yeah.
100%. And now I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like,
Good.
say less,
Well,
buddy.
yeah, I totally understand. I totally understand. I mean, you've been under pressure as well. It was some
Mm,
time you didn't even know, yeah, all this visa stuff and when
crazy.
and how, and yeah,
The
it's
stress,
it's
bro. Mm,
fortunately that is history now. Talking about the past, so
yes, it
you can
is.
just put it behind you, so to speak. But
Yes,
yeah, but
but
yeah,
what I would say to that is, with everything in life, don't just put it behind you, but learn from it. With every experience you have, you do need to move on in the sense of like continue to progress in life, like move on in your life. But at the same time, every experience should be a learning experience. Whether it's
yeah,
good or
yeah. That's
bad,
true, of course.
learn
Yeah,
from it, because those who don't learn from their past are doomed to repeat it. So
yeah. Most likely, we've seen that regarding
yes,
history
a
also.
hundred percent.
Okay, well, yeah.
So yes, generally
Yeah,
speaking,
cool.
that's been it. Rog, what have you been up to this week?
Well, this week or the week before and everything, I have lost count, I would say, when we talked about the stuff we have been doing the last time. Did I talk about the last concert we had last time? Did I?
Hmm. Yeah, you
Or
did.
did I not?
You text me. You didn't talk about it in the podcast. Let's
Yeah,
talk
we
about
didn't talk about it. Okay, so because this, yeah, I need to talk about that.
it.
Because okay, so we had a concert with a band here in Stockholm. It was this like place we played before. The thing is, the day before we had a nice dinner at home by the it was the guitarist that invited us for dinner, and I thought like, okay, this is nice, but it's the day before the concert, and of course we started to to drink a bit too much wine. You know, five guys listening to music, drinking. Yeah, okay.
How drunk did you get? How drunk did you get?
Not stupid drunk, because I at least was thinking it's a day tomorrow and I gonna play a concert and I need to be focused and all this stuff. So me and the bass player left like not early, but the earliest, if we put it like that, which was smart. Otherwise, I don't know. The keyboard player and the guitarist the day after, they were quite tired. I was like, okay, how is this gonna work? So let's put it like this: we did a good concert. It was fun. We had a good gig, but it was like a working kind of, you know, a lot of sweat into it to really get it going well and everything. But it was fine. It was fine. But I'm getting to this. There was something that happened during the concert for me. This time around, I played. With the first time for many years, I used in-ears instead of having like open monitor system, and that was good since I had not a good experience the concert before a few weeks or a month or two. I think we talked about that when I had some problems with my ear after that concert. That was scary, and you know me, I've been playing music for so long.
Yeah.
So that was good. I had in ear, I could balance the mix myself. Good. That made it also more enjoyable to play overall. But when like we did 1 hour set, there was another band playing after us, and like 85% into the set or concert, if you will. I mean, I'm the drummer, right? And I started to get like a cramp or a kind of thing in my my arm. My left arm, not my forearm, but the underarm, and also the wrist. And it felt really weird. And I was like, what the frack is going on? And after that, because this was like 2 weeks ago, I have had problems with my left forearm. And this is something, I mean, I've been blessed not to have those kind of, you know, problems throughout the years, even though I also, you know, I work out and I'm, you know, quite training quite heavy.
You're fit, bloke.
Yeah, you
Say
know,
it with your chest.
that's what I do. So long story short, I'm a bit better now, fortunately. But for me, I just recall that months ago when I was lying in bed one evening, and I think I dropped a book or something, and I was leaning towards the left, you know, to pick up the book with my right hand on the floor, and I like pressed the left elbow towards the bed on the side of the bed, and it kind of, you know, I heard this, yes, in my elbow, and I was like, oh shit, that's not good. And after that, I think that's when it might be that it's a bit of a dislocation when it comes to the joint. I don't know. And Jan, who is the keyboard player, he was very like, you have to go to a doctor because this can be bad for you. You really, really need to, especially, I mean, you're playing, you're a musician and everything, you need blah, blah, blah. And of course, he's right. Fortunately, I haven't had to go to a doctor for like 10 to 15 years. Can you imagine? Even though I'm also a bit older now, but no, I've been
You've been taking
healthy.
care of yourself. That's the
yeah, I
thing.
take care of myself. Yeah, sure. But even so, the whole system was also new for me. I was used to, you know, you call this number and hello, can I book a? You don't do that. You do everything with apps nowadays, apparently. Also, so I'm like, okay, shit. So long story short, this was long even so. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a phone call with a physiotherapist. I thought I'd start like that, and then if he thinks that, well, you do need to go further, you maybe need to do an X-ray or something like that, then we follow up with that.
Yeah.
But I think I would mention this because I thought about you a bit. I mean, talking about the nerve damage and shit like that. And I was like, because I don't know yet exactly what it is. I am very used to feel like every part of my body since I have been working out for so many years. I also know when something is wrong. and I can tell you that this is a bit wrong. It should be like
Mhm.
this. Uh, but as said, it has been cooling down a bit since after the concert. At least the last 2 weeks, it has been fading a bit, and I have been able to work out, even though I take it a bit easier, so to speak. I don't go that heavy.
Mhm.
But yeah, that has been a shadow over my 2 weeks, a bit of a stress kind of thing, alongside with the fact that Annalie still has her broken arm.
Yeah.
She was fortunate. She went to the hospital last Friday and took off the shit, the cover and everything. Now she has like a more flexible kind of profile made hard plastic kind of thing that is protecting her hand and arm. She still has to be cautious. It will take time. It takes a lot of time. But it seems to has been working fine. So she's doing like exercises now, to start to get better movement with her hand and
Mhm.
everything. So it's been a bit like uh, sick kind of family in a way. But yeah, I don't know what to say. But it's otherwise. Besides that, I think it's been pretty good. I have been a bit frustrated though regarding my situation. We have those talks, you and me,
Mhm.
once in a while,
Mhm.
because it's been very slow for me when it comes to sales with the music and everything. It
Yeah.
could be the months, it could be some like what's happening and things like that, and you start to get insecure.
Mhm.
So I have done some changes, and we'll see if that will help and everything. And I have been reaching out to some people also to ask for advice, because it's such a lone wolf thing. I mean, I do everything, in this room as we're
Yeah.
speaking, and you don't meet or talk to so many people during the day, and it can be it's fine if I can do it. Like I've said it many times, I would be very happy if this will work like this. But I don't know, man. We'll see. So it's been a combination of shit, what has happened with my arm, and also, yeah, the future, thinking about those kind of stuff and
Mhm.
everything. So
That's the thing, when it comes to something that you yourself have to create and manage and do to achieve whatever success you're looking for, a lot
yes,
lies on you, and then at the end of the day, you then have um you then have essentially there's a side of it where it could become a bit lonely or stressful because you're
yeah,
you know you're working with stuff where you're not 100% sure how it's going to work out in the end, but at the same time, whenever you do achieve those successes, they mean so much because of the fact that you know
that's
how
true.
much it took to get to that point, and a lot of that effort
Yes,
came from you yourself as the individual doing it. So, yeah, generally speaking, bro, I will be there championing you the whole way.
sounds good, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's but as you said, I mean, you know me also.
Mhm.
You know me for many years now, and I'm not someone that just gives up that easily.
Nah, of course not.
I like to you mentioned it yourself, when you get a challenge and to overcome that, and
Mhm.
to really push yourself to really get there. But at the same time, I can be very hard on myself, or like sometimes maybe too much. I don't know, but it's we talked about the balance and everything and finding those hours. And of course, I also see that, oh shit, I've been like, a whole day has passed, and that can also be a Saturday in my case. And I still haven't had like so much free time, if that makes sense. But it's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we,
Um,
we will continue to talk about
we
that.
will
But
continue
but
talking
yeah,
about that with
yeah,
time,
and I will
indeed.
of course give feedback after. I'm gonna talk with this guy tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens regarding the arm and everything. Hopefully, it's
Hmm.
gonna be fine. I really
I
hope
just
so.
realized something. I didn't give the episode a proper title except for the
Oh, that's true. It's
I just
like
put the number.
yeah, I see that too. Okay,
I'm only just
yeah.
like I look up on the YouTube page and I see a number and I didn't realize that. You know?
Well, as said, we're finding the new routines right now when it comes to the time we podcast and everything. But yeah, but we've been talking about the week. We should, of course, get into the candy store when it comes to what we like to,
What we like to
watch
do.
and play and stuff like that when it comes to video games. And
Hmm.
yeah,
I think we start with for tonight, let's start with the games. What do you think? What do you want to
Sorry,
say?
what did you say? I was just scratching my
I
beard.
say we start with the games instead of the films tonight. What do you
Yeah,
think?
sure, for sure. Yeah, you start, sir.
Okay,
Go ahead,
I will.
Mr.
I
Q.
will.
Yeah.
So, I, the Bando of Dreams himself, have been playing on my Steam Deck this week
Band of Dreams.
and on
Oh, Steam Deck again. Beautiful.
my Xbox because I play eFootball 2024. As I told you guys before, I'm in a server with some really cool people and we play eFootball together and it's
Oh, that's fun.
awesome and we have our tournaments and stuff and we started a new season. The new season started, and your boy is on the top of the table. I've beaten everyone I've challenged to a certain extent.
Ooh.
Sitting on 20, I think I'm on 28 points. I've had only one loss and one draw. The rest are like 9 wins or something. So your boy has been doing pretty good. I
Mm,
respectfully appreciate everyone in the server who has played against me. You can see footage on the screen of someone I was playing against. I can't remember who it was. But
cool.
the only thing is I have a few more people I need to play against and I can't get a match with them. So if you guys are seeing this, because I put it in the server, if you guys are seeing this and you have a match with me, go check the talk to Sprite and go check and find out if you if you can't find out the matches, like if you have a match with me, hit me up. Like when I come in the nights, I have
Mm-hmm.
a moment where I just want to relax and unwind. Hit me up and challenge me, man. I want to beat you guys. Well, I mean, hopefully you win as well. And I say hopefully, I mean hopefully from your perspective, not from mine. Hopefully I win from my perspective. It's been fun.
Of course, but of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's been really fun. But I found out I can play eFootball on the Steam Deck and it runs great.
Oh, it does.
Yes,
Okay.
I set
Yeah, yeah.
the graphics settings to low and
Mm,
it looks good because the screen is
mm.
so small and it runs really smoothly. So I've been enjoying playing eFootball on my Steam Deck.
Oh, cool.
It's been
Yeah.
nice playing it on the little screen and playing a few matches and stuff like that.
It doesn't feel too small for you. I mean, like football is like, the whole pit and everything.
It
No?
does to an extent, like
Or
the guys are really small and stuff like that, but
yeah.
yeah, it's like at the same time, it's still fun.
Yeah, yeah, you get used to it maybe, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
that's
was a question before also.
from Nalu.
Yeah, what was that? Yeah, I see. Also, you've only have two achievements left for Persona 3 Reload to
I haven't
100%.
played
Good job.
Persona 3 Reload yet.
But
As
it
for
was the
the comment, it
Gamergate
was.
2.
Have you heard about Gamergate 2?
I
It's
don't know
so.
what game is
I
that.
think he's talking about Gamergate is not a game. I think that's that whole thing with the controversy between
Ah,
developers and players. So I think that has to do
aha.
with something baby. What's the name of it again?
Yeah, you can fill in there if you want to. I haven't really heard about this
I've
to
been
be
listening to
honest.
the news, so I've heard of it. I think it's crap, what's the name of it? It's something baby. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Um, is it Sad Baby? No, it's not Sad Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Is it cry? Now you should be able to tell us in the chat. But essentially, there's this company that they consult on games to other
Uh-huh.
companies, right? And
Okay.
their whole pitch, oh, Sweet Baby, that's the name of it. So, their whole thing is that they want inclusivity in gaming. So they basically come in and they offer their service and their support on writing, scripts and all that kind of stuff on games.
Oh,
The
okay.
thing though is that a lot of the games that they've consulted on have sucked for lack of
Oh.
yeah, so a lot of the games that they've consulted on have sucked and a lot of the ways in which the inclusivity has been added to those games hasn't been very natural or enjoyable to the overall gaming scope. I myself have found quite a few of those games not that appealing. So one of those games is Saints Row, the last Saints Row that
Aha.
came out,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
was terrible. But generally speaking, that is the way in which the whole thing. But essentially, someone made a Steam curator. You know how Steam curators work. Essentially, someone puts up like a list of all the games and stuff like that that you can get, and someone made a Steam curator of Sweet Baby games. So Sweet Baby Inc. games that they've
Aha.
consulted on
Okay.
to kind of like show people who may not want to buy those games, hey, this exists. And the people that
Ah.
work there haven't been happy, so they try to get that person banned from Steam. And you know that I think they call the Strife. Is it a Strife? Streisand effect or something like that. Essentially,
Mm.
they try to get it banned, this person banned, and it made it
Yeah.
way more popular than it would have gotten if they hadn't gotten involved and so forth. So essentially,
Wow.
the group that the curator got blown up on Steam, and yeah, Suicide Squad is one of the games that they worked on as well as Spider-Man 2 and
Okay.
Alan Wake. So essentially, it blew up a lot more. It's a whole big scene now, and it's just been a tumbleweed of more and more shenanigans and problems. I guess is the best way to put
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
regards to.
Well, that was a
So
good kind of a recap thing for me. At least I
yes,
understand what you're talking about now. Okay, that's I gotta read a bit more about it later because again, weird. I haven't really heard about it to be honest.
I think the thing is that if you follow like I guess like IGN or Kotaku and stuff like that, they've written
Yeah.
some articles about it, but they've written
Aha.
in defense of Sweet Baby essentially. So they've been like, oh, like it's not as bad as people think, but then
Ah.
at the same
Okay.
time, then you have like independent YouTubers and stuff who cover games and they're like, nah, bro, you're mental, like it's bad, you know. So essentially, yeah, there's that whole sort of like
Yeah.
narrative of the developers against the gamers essentially. So there's this battle of like, oh, we know what's best for you, and the gamers are like, nah, bro, we don't want that. Like, make the games that
Yeah.
we want, kind of thing. And then a lot of news is becoming out about, like, for example, um, you know, sort of like seminars that these developers have been given, where they're talking about, for example, you know, what games like how they want to make games and saying that the players don't know what they want. We know what they want. They want diversity. They want all these changes. And here's the thing: I champion diversity in the sense of like when I see a character that looks like me, I do like that. You know, to a certain extent. You know, like I've seen, for example, uh, Spider-Man the animated, what's it called? The Miles Morales Spider-Man animated movie. That is one of my favorite movies. It's awesome. I love Black Panther, the first one.
Mm.
Amazing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And I like the characters. You know, I even had the Killmonger hairstyle at one point. But that being said, I like it when it's done right. You know, I like it when it's done authentic. When it's not just like a sort of thing whereby you just have inclusivity just to have inclusivity, but not because the story deserves it, or it's part of a good part of the narrative. And one of the things that for me that I don't like is I don't like when you do like when some developers do race swap of a character. So they just
Yeah. Yeah.
take a
Yeah.
character who was originally um Caucasian and then say, oh well, he's black now. And then I'm like, well,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
buddy. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want that. I'm fine with my characters being what they. But make new characters though. If you make new characters that are
Sure. Yeah.
interesting, because like for example, why I like Miles Morales so much as Spider-Man
Yeah.
is that Miles Morales is not Peter Parker. He's a whole new different character. If they just
Exactly.
made
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter Black, then to me that'd be weird.
Isn't
Like,
it interesting? I mean, we touched based about this before, but
yes,
more so when it comes to the film industry. And we're
yes,
talking about the live movies coming, like, when it comes to Disney and
hmm
everything. Yeah, it's a
it's a thing. So that
it's a
in
thing.
response to Nalu's comment, that
Yeah,
yes, I've heard the news. Roger's been
yeah.
caught up on it now. It's a thing. You know, I follow the news when I come in and I have my showers in the afternoon. I probably put on YouTube and I watch a few YouTube channels
Mm.
and just try to keep up with a few things. As much as I can anyway. So that's that. Rog, what have you been playing, mate? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks has passed, so quite some. But I gotta stick with the script here, meaning the game I did talk about or wanted to talk about last week, but we weren't here. So here we go. Let's do that. You know me, I tend to go back sometimes and check out games. This also has to do with the series, more or less. You can call it a series on my
Mhm,
YouTube channel where I do just that.
mhm,
And in 2018, there was a free to play online multiplayer shooter called World War III. Oh, the
mhm,
name starts to become quite scary just to
mhm,
say it like that nowadays, especially. Yeah, it's a game called World War III. It's developed by a studio called Farm 51, and I covered this early on. I
mhm,
saw a game with potential becoming like a free-to-play alternative to Battlefield, you might say.
mhm.
Um, and then they screwed it up.
So always happens.
So the release was not good. It was performance problems and servers stuff
Mhm,
and whatever have you. And the game like fell into yeah,
It
Oblivion.
declined.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like, okay, what happened? But then they decided to give it another go, and they made a release, a new release, you might say, because at that point of time in 2018, it was like a normal game. You bought it, right?
Hmm.
But they also had this My Games deal, so it meant that when you started to play it early on, even though it was on Steam, you had to download this freaking launcher, which is just a I've seen so many games doing these mistakes, and don't do that.
Hmm.
So that was a part of the problem. And then they changed publisher, and then they decided, oh, it's going to be free to play. We're going to like overhaul the game. They did.
Hmm.
They had a release in 2022.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, about 2 years ago,
Hmm.
and it didn't work.
Oof.
They had such problems when actually there was interest for the game and the
Hmm.
server couldn't stand the capacity or take it, and it was still these desync, and it was horrible to see in a way.
Hmm.
So it didn't go well. And now when I made a video about it,
Hmm.
it's more or less a dead game, if I'm gonna be honest. It's like around 200-250 players on
Yeah.
average a day, maybe something like that. Struggling. But
Hmm.
I did also a video because news reached me, talked about gaming news, that there's a fairly new studio called Wishlist Games. I think they're based in Cyprus. They have like 7 other offices like worldwide, or
Let me Google
Europe
them.
maybe. Yeah, so they bought the IP.
Hmm.
They're gonna try to do. I have no. I'm like, there's so much to do with this game if you're really gonna, because years has passed. Also,
Hmm.
they need to like look into the audio. The gun sounds are a bit out of date, and it is so much to do, and especially the whole server part that I was talking about.
Hmm.
Because the mistake also was, again, I say this separate launcher, even though you download it through Steam, and then
Yeah.
the game didn't run on the official Steam servers, which
Hmm.
they of course should have taken advantage of.
Hmm.
Then maybe that wouldn't have happened, but it did,
Yeah.
and it was a shit show.
Hmm.
So I have played also Helldivers 2. I can talk about that for a second,
Hmm.
but I'm just gonna finish World War 3. So that's what I've one of the games obviously I've played.
Hmm.
Right now I'm looking forward to tomorrow, because the old Star Wars Battlefront games are back.
Are they?
They're gonna release the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection.
Let me Google this. Really?
It's God sent. And of course, this is one of the few games I pre-bought. Why? Because if you do that before the end of today, I think, if you own one of the older games like from before, you get like 20% off. So I think I
Really?
paid like $27 for. Oh, I'm so looking forward. I'm a huge fan of the old Battlefront games, Star Wars.
Oh
So,
wow, I'm looking at this. Holy crap.
yes, and Isaac did the same, of course. So I'm happy about it. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's actually 10% off right now on Steam when I look at it.
yeah.
10% off on Steam.
Uh,
Or
do, maybe you still get 20 if you own the game, because they showed like 2 different things for me
hmm
when I went further and purchased the game.
I think if I open it in my Steam account like directly, it probably shows something else.
Exactly. I think because you have at least Battlefront maybe 1 or 2, like from the George Lucas old games, don't you?
I
Or
don't think so. I'm actually looking at it right
okay, you
now.
don't.
It
Okay. Oh,
doesn't
you've
give.
never played them either.
I think I played them on
Ooh,
console. Weren't they on console?
okay. Were they? Maybe.
I
Are we
think
talking like Xbox days or
no.
360?
That
I don't know.
I'm thinking weren't those games on GameCube and stuff?
I have no idea, bro.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
classic games are the best. Yes, high five now, of course. Yes, for many reasons. Very often.
Yeah.
Very often. That's also why you see I've talked about sometimes on the game.
hmm
I gotta also say something. Just put it in there.
hmm
Helldivers 2. I think that's what you wanted to ask me about.
hmm
I have Helldivers 2, but I have a hard time to play the game with good performance. That is, of course, mostly due to my PC build right now.
hmm
But the game isn't that great optimized either, and there's reasons for that. And of course, Aiden Adam, my oldest son, who is a game developer, he kind of found out things, and it has to do partly with the graphics engine, I believe. it mainly runs on 2 cores only, and the temperature like goes a bit back and forth. So even though that have good systems, don't get like great FPS in the game. I
Mm-hmm.
did this kind of thing since the game is on Steam. You know, when you launch the game, you can force the game to not start up in DirectX 12, so DirectX 11 instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I emptied the cache and everything in the game files. That gave me maybe like 8 to 10 more FPS. It is a fun co-op game, and I'm of course happy too because the developers started up their studio Arrowhead's um, uh, studios
Mm-hmm.
back in the days up in the small city where I come from in the north part of Sweden. So I'm happy for their success. It's been doing so well,
Mm-hmm.
and they deserve it for sure. But for me, I mean, it's a PvE game only,
Yeah.
and but it's fun co-op. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently, I've seen both sons have been playing the game with some friends and stuff. But
None of your
what
friends
can
are playing, is it, Rog? That's it. You know, I've not been on there
no,
yet, and you're you're
no,
you're sad because I haven't got on there. I'm gonna get a
exactly.
copy. I'll come on there with you. We'll have some fun. You know,
Yeah.
maybe at the
Okay.
end of the
Yeah.
month when I
Yeah.
get
You
paid,
know me. You
I'll
know
put it
me.
in the to get list. Let me add it to my wish list now on Steam, so I'll remind
Yeah.
myself to pick it up.
But
And
we have before also talked about the prices. You know,
mhm,
good price, maybe cheaper, maybe you know.
mhm,
It costs like $40, €40 ish, and I think initially when they launched the game, that was maybe a bit too much
yeah,
when it comes to the content. Now they have been adding more. They have also mechs now in the
mhm,
game, and it has been happening things. You know, there's like new stuff. But I think it would have been better off like a 30 or top 35 price
yeah,
tag on that game. To be
mhm.
honest, it would
Some
have
games
felt a
it's
bit more, you know, fair.
some games that are like that, you know, like they're better when you pay less for it. I
Yeah,
guess, you know, in
yeah,
the sense of like considering the content and all that kind of stuff. And again, developers obviously know how they plan to make their money and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So
But
hey,
on the other hand, they have been selling amazing amounts of
yes.
copies. I mean, again, talking about Helldivers too. So, congrats once more. Good job, Arrowhead. You deserve it and everything.
Hmm.
But for me, I have been waiting for updates. I know that these things might be harder to do something about than just balance things in
Hmm.
the game because they have been doing that too when it comes to some weapons and stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, it's some fun pew pew action, definitely, especially again with friends. You can for sure solo queue, but I think it's so much more fun, which is usually the case with a game like this if you play with friends. That's basically my my final saying, I would say.
I mean, co-op games that if you play a co-op game by yourself, then that's not fun. Pretty lame.
No.
Let's talk about some
Yeah.
film, Raj. Let's talk about what we've been watching this week. And
Yep.
generally speaking, your boy hasn't watched anything. Um, unfortunately. But I have been listening to some podcasts. So I've been listening to this podcast called Chunks and Philly podcast, and that
Oh,
or the Chunks and Philly show, I think it's called.
okay.
And Chunks and Philly are both UK YouTubers who've broken into the scene, and they're pretty big now. They've been doing this for some years, and they basically are part of a group called Beta Squad, and they have a podcast together. And someone in the office recommended it to me, and I've been listening to it, and it's been pretty good.
Aha.
I've
Oh, you
been
got a recommendation from a colleague. That's cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get recommendations from my colleagues a lot.
Oh,
So
really? So they yeah, apparently they listen to podcasts. Do they
yes,
listen to this podcast?
I haven't
Hmm?
told anyone in work that I do a
Ah,
podcast yet. I say yet because I'm not sure yet when I'm ready to tell them. I'm sure they'll find it at some point. My coworkers are quite resourceful, but I haven't mentioned it in the office yet that I do a podcast. So
no, no.
that's
You,
the
you,
only reason they don't know they don't listen yet. I'm pretty sure if I told my coworkers, I'm sure there are certain coworkers of mine that would definitely be here listening, tuning in, being like, "Yo, Key, what's going on?" You know.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so in due time, I will
In time.
inform
In time.
them of
In
the
time. Yeah.
podcast. For now, um, yeah, I'll keep it
It's a
a bit.
secret. That's the other identity. You know, we're talking
Yes,
about the
it's the
superhero kind of.
Batman
Yeah.
versus Bruce Wayne vibe there.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. So that's cool. Actually, someone came over to my desk today and saw my Steam Deck and was like, "Ooh, what's that, Q? Is that a Switch?" I was like, "No, mate, it's a Steam Deck." He's like, "What's a Steam Deck?" I was like, "Open the case, see what it is." He opened it up, and then another colleague comes over
Oh.
and she's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "It's a gaming PC." And the officer like walking around and they're looking at it like, "Oh my God, la blah." So yeah, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, my cookers are pretty chill.
that's cool. Yeah.
Pretty chill. Raj, but you've been watching something that I haven't seen yet. And
Yeah, I have been watching something that you haven't seen that I think you would appreciate, and maybe you guys out there as well.
mhm,
I have been watching a series that you can find on Disney Plus. It's a series called Shogun,
mhm,
and I think it's based on books. I haven't read the books,
mhm,
but the series, this is good. This is good adventure, and it therefore also has a high rating on IMDb. It's 9.2.
mhm,
Easy for me also 9.5, 6, 7. I can give it something like that. It's a time also. I think it's so. I mean, it's Japan, right?
yep,
It's those like is it like the 1500, 1600 century
mhm,
ish around there?
yep,
And I think some of the stuff, historical wise, is kind of correct. You know,
mhm,
when it comes to, for example, the Portuguese, the Spanish being there,
mhm,
and the first time when the Englishman comes and la di da and conflicts and
mhm,
religion and old versus new and stuff like that.
yeah,
So what happens here is that there's like a mysterious European ship, talking about
mhm,
Europe then, that is found marined in a nearby fishing village. It's
mhm,
more or less destroyed.
mhm,
And Lord Yoshi Toranaga discovers secrets that could tip the scales of power and devastate his enemies. Because this is the time where
mhm,
the old feudal society is about to, fade, and Shogun is almost like a memory. It's
mhm,
like this armor on the pedestal over here, and no
mhm.
one's like, will there ever be a Shogun again? So it's things like that. And of course, we have you will if you have watched a lot of other movies, and especially you will recognize what is its name again,
Aito.
Hiroyuki Sanada,
Mhm,
because he's been seen in many movies. And yeah, the other guys, this is good. This is good.
mhm,
I really recommend it. I like the whole setting. I like the production, the casting. It's exciting, and I actually gonna watch another episode after this podcast before I go to
Ooh,
bed.
you know what? You know what? Now that you talk about it, like I haven't really. I mean, we pay for Disney Plus every month, and I haven't really been watching much on it. So, like, if this is as good as you say it is, your boy is interested because it's ranked number one right now on IMDb, and it's a
Yeah,
9.2. And if you're giving it a seal of approval, that's enough for me. That's enough for me to check it out. If it's got your seal of
1600.
approval,
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like,
Yes,
so I think
yes.
I myself, when if I get some time, because I mean I've been in serious work mode, but if I can pull some time, squeeze a little time for myself, I myself will watch. How long is an episode? It's like an hour.
Oh, yes, something like that. Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that they release like once a week, so I think it's the fourth episode being released right now. I
Ooh.
think, yeah,
Okay.
something
Noted.
like that.
Noted. I
So
can I can probably squeeze in a little bit of watching on the train because I spend about 30 minutes on the train, both ways. So that's about an hour. 30 minutes to the to the office and 30 minutes
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
So that's about an hour. So I could squeeze in because like tonight on the train there was this girl out like in the area where the bikes park. I was sitting in there's a section where you can so in the UK you have these two types of trains, at least those are the ones I know of. There's cross
Yeah.
country and there's Great Western Railway. If you get on a cross country train, those ones, the way they keep their bike section, it's different from Great Western Railway. The back section on cross country
Ah,
is bigger. You can store more bikes. So in total, I think you can store about three bikes on their trains in each bike section on the train. But also there's a section where you can store like suitcases and maybe even folding bikes and other stuff in that section. And
cool, cool. Yeah.
usually what I would do is I would hang my bike, and I might go and sit down. And sometimes I actually would sit in the baggage area. Like I'll put my bag down and I'll sit there because it's usually not full. It's like empty. So when I got
Yeah.
on the train, I sat in the baggage area, and there was this girl sitting above me in the section above. Like she was up there with her like tablet and like watching a film, like whatever she was watching. I don't know what she was watching, but she was watching something. and having dinner as well. She was like eating something. So,
Multitasking. Yeah, yeah.
pretty much. So for me, I think I will be joining that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll just watch Shogun on the way to work, as long as I'm not like busy with work shit, because usually that's what happens. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't even know if I have Disney Plus to install on my phone. I'll have to double check. But yeah, sounds like a
Yeah,
plan.
sounds good. Yeah, I would love to hear what you think about it. This is a series. I'm not saying that it's starting slow, but you have to pay attention and get the characters kind of what's happening between them and stuff. But I like it, and I'm looking forward to
Likey,
to the next
likey.
one. I like it. So yeah, there you go, Shogun on Disney Plus.
Are
Oh,
you watching it
you
with
wanna
the
do a shout
missus?
out? Who is? Oh, Akira Toriyama.
Oh yes, Akira Toriyama
Yeah,
passed away during the time that we didn't
yeah.
record a podcast. He's the creator of Dragon Ball,
Mm,
and Dragon Ball Z and so forth.
yes.
And as a Dragon Ball fan, I am a huge fan of it, of
Mm,
Dragon Ball, and it's sad that he's passed away. Especially because there was a new Dragon Ball series coming out soon that he was working on. But in life, we this is the reason why I like to say, hey, we only have one shot at this. Use it wisely.
yes.
At the end
True.
of the day, with him, he's impacted a lot of people, and even though he's gone now, that impact will not go away. That impact is there for life. He's made an impact on humanity, and as long as we still have screens to stare at, and digital copies and DVDs and all VHSs and all that kind of stuff, he
Yeah.
will live on because people will see his work and they'll be like, "This is amazing." Right?
Yeah.
So
The legacy lives on for
yes,
sure.
shout out
Yeah.
to Akira Toriyama. He was a legend indeed. So yeah,
Mm,
let's. How about we get out of here, Raj? Your boy
yes.
needs to change out of these work clothes.
I can
I
imagine.
literally have just come in, I haven't changed, I haven't
You need
eaten, I haven't
you
had
haven't eaten, right?
nothing. I've been
Yeah. Oh
drinking
shit. No,
water. My
no.
glass is empty. So yeah,
Now you go and eat. Now you go and eat.
yeah,
Listen to Uncle Roger. No,
Uncle Roger.
yeah, that's like what?
I haven't watched that YouTuber in ages. I used to like his stuff. It's been a while. Uncle Roger. Uh, good stuff. Good stuff.
What the
Okay.
frack? But
Mm,
yeah, it is time to bail out. I'm happy though. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. As always, showing up. We're trying to find our routines here,
mm.
but it's been great. I hope you're gonna have a good continuation of your week. And if you feel like it, check out Shogun. I like it so far. And yeah, just take care. Stay healthy. And as Q pointed out, yeah, take care of the moments. They are important. We only live once, I believe, I guess.
Mhm.
So let's live with that. And as you say, now legends never die. Okay. With
Indeed.
that said, muffin and out.
Mm-hmm. And with that, you beautiful people, you can find Roger at 40 Splish Splash pretty much everywhere. That's the number 40 with SPLSH, SPLASH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday. Is that correct, Raj?
Correct.
By the way, I just remembered something. Like I talk about our like URLs, like our ads and stuff like that. It's actually on the screen. So those of you who watch live on YouTube, you can see them there. Like it's in there at
Easy peasy.
Forty
Yeah.
Splash. You can find me at LP Garden. There's Garden Talk to you pretty much everywhere else. And of course you can, if you follow my Instagram by that handle, you can see some of the shenanigans I get up to in work. You know, I share a story at least every day. It goes away after 24 hours though, so if you're not there, you just miss it. Anyway, that being said, as always, you can find us at Simply Binge or at Simply Binge UK pretty much everywhere else. And as always, we wouldn't like you guys to miss out on any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like you subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, simplybinge.com, and elsewhere. And we're so confident they're gonna like it that we're giving them for free. So as always, guys, this has been queued. Your pleasure. And it's a wrap. That is the episode. Your boy is going to do non-podcasty stuff. So
True, true.
yes,
Good job. Beautiful.
good job to you. It's been
Yeah, this was a good, this was fun. It was very energy, a lot of energy.
it's,
I don't
it's
know.
probably because I cycle. I just came off the bike. I'm in full energy mode.
Yeah, but
Who knows?
I don't know. I was a bit, sometimes you're not sure how it feels until you start, if that makes sense.
Yep.
That was the case for me. I was like, okay, okay, okay. But then, oh yeah, we're here.
We're here
But
indeed.
on the other hand, we have been doing this quite a few times
We
by
have
now.
definitely. We've done this so many episodes. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So yeah. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let me level air and go downstairs. I need to change all these clothes. I really feel gross being in the same clothes I've been wearing all day.
Yeah, and
And
especially, yeah, get something to eat.
indeed,
So
indeed, indeed,
food.
indeed.
By the way,
Let's
are we live still,
We
or
are. I
are
forgot to
we?
end it. Let me do that before people like